Oh.
Praiseworthy. That's the word for the day.
Praiseworthy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Who we got? Okay. Christian Combined. Hey, Colin. Hey, get everybody in today. I'm here with the conscious chick.
Hey, y'all.
Tag share. Let's get everybody in.
Good
Let's get
afternoon.
everybody in.
And one to put the ears on today. Okay, y'all. How y'all doing? Come on in.
And now here's your host, Greg James.
Want to say good afternoon and once again, welcome to the Greg James Community Show right here on 95.3 FM. I want you to go ahead on the tag and share. Let's get everybody in. Let's get everybody into the, I tell you, the hottest show
It is.
that's on.
It
and I'm excited today that I've got the host of Conscious Chick right here with us. And she is going to be talking to us a little bit about what's going on. So go ahead on the tag and share. Let's get everybody on. Want to say good afternoon, and how in the world are you?
I am, you got to be real talented to be like multitasking on your cell phone while you on the microphone, saluting and welcoming your audience. Y'all better give it up for Pastor Greg James. He multitasking up in this place, y'all.
Hey, and the thing about multitasking is it has its advantages and has its disadvantages.
It do.
And one of the things that I've come to understand here recently, Christy, is that multitasking is not good for me, and I enjoy doing it because I'm giving 25% to 4 different things, and when I can really give 100% to one thing and become effectively empowered. So I'm going to really stop multitasking because it takes up too much energy to too many things.
Well, you got something else.
And now you good at multitasking too.
I am not good at multitasking. That's the deception of the enemy, right? To make you think that you can do 9 things at once. You can't do 9 things at once.
Absolutely. And and that's what I had to realize, because I have truly been doing so many things, and each one has a way of draining you. And if you just give one thing 100% of your energy,
right,
it'll lead you to the path, to the promise, to the purpose, and to the payoff.
Yes,
that you're looking for.
You better say that. You better say that, right?
Yeah.
Because I think the again, going back to because there's so much. I think that folks really don't understand that we in this post-COVID climate where everybody is just like on the run, and not like Bonnie and Clyde on the run. This is like Jay-Z and Beyonce on the run. Like they everywhere. It's so many things happening that's being pulled in so many different directions, and they're all good things, right? They're all necessary things. But are they all the things that you need to be in?
Right. And you know what? And then there's a saying that say we can do a lot of good things, right, but are we doing the God thing?
Come on now.
And a lot of times we're so busy doing the good things, and God is sitting back saying, when are you going to do the God thing? And I much rather do the God thing than the good thing, because when I'm doing the God thing, I'm doing the good thing, but God is going to increase, and he's going to open up ways and avenues that the God thing is going to be more powerful than the good thing.
Have mercy. And we know that God is good. So if you do the God thing, it's going to be automatically good.
All the time.
Yes.
Well, listen, I'm excited about what you've been doing here on the Greg James Community Show with your segment, the Conscious Check Hour. It's been really empowering our people, really been informing our people, because you are bringing a plethora of guests to a audience that normally they would not even speak to unless someone has invited them to a platform that addresses the the audience that we're listening to today. So let's talk a little bit about the feedback that you've been getting from Conscious Check.
Oh man, first of all, I want to make sure that I help everyone understand that the Conscious Check with Christy Henry show is a segment of the Greg James Community Show and what I call the Greg James Community Show platform. I think that's really important because, we live in a community that, loves leadership. And sometimes leadership is submitting to the platform you're in and being effective in that space. And then when the Lord calls you to another place where you're out there on your own, then it'll be God moving you. But at the same token, there's power in working collaboratively on powerful platform. And that's what this show has done. It's given an opportunity for me, and I'm a community nerd. I mean, everybody that knows me know that. You know that. But I think that there's some relevant things that are happening on the community level. There's a lot of wealth transfer that's happening on the national level. There's a lot of industry ups and downs, crash and burns. There's a lot of waves happening in different spaces, and people are becoming billionaires and millionaires because they're tuning in, they're conscious of what's happening in the climate that we're in economically. And I know that we're being left behind. It doesn't take a lot. And it's just amazing how ever since we started doing these economic development conversations on this platform, first of all, to your earlier point, we brought people to this show, to this audience that may or may not have been able to come to this audience.
Absolutely.
I think the other thing that we've discovered is that Tallahassee has a lot of resources, but people don't know.
And you know what? It's amazing you said that because I was just in a meeting probably less than an hour ago, and we were talking about the CSC, and we were talking about the resources that are available, but there are so many people who are serving our vulnerable population who don't even know. And sometimes we have to be able to get information to them so that they can be informed. And then we have to be able to help them to become a agent of a transformative change by doing what's necessary to get the necessary income to do what they need to do. So your segment has enlightened, listen to what I'm about to say, so many when it comes to not just economic development, but you've had some major topics on opportunities with businesses, with housing. You just been awakening the consciousness of people, and that's important.
Well, that's what the show says. It's a conscious check, right? And conscience, not conscious, conscience check, right? But it's all about, people always say stay woke, but woke to what? When you wake up from sleep, there's this indication that you're sleeping, first of all, right? And then when you wake up, there's a sense of awareness of where you're at, right? But what if you woke up and you still was asleep?
Wow.
What if you woke up and you still didn't know where you were? And I think that the check part of it is checking that. Where are you? Right. Where are you in the space we occupy? Where are you in the realm of the opportunities that are here in this local market? Where are you in the realm of understanding how all these things work together in their proper spaces, institutions of education, government and municipal systems, public safety, all these things work together to create value, inclusive value that we all benefit from it. But if you're still asleep while you woke, you won't benefit from any of it. Wow. And if you don't understand these systems, if you don't understand that first of all, what the scriptures say, government is not, it's not something that good people despise. Good people like government. Good people like systems, right? And it's only a terror to to the evil.
And you know what? And the Bible also says that when the righteous reign,
come on now,
there is peace. And right now, I mean, we are seeing a lot of unrest in government. We're seeing a lot of, just here in our local assembly with what's happening now at our state capitol with our state legislative, we're seeing just total chaos of unrest. I mean, when it comes to issues that we are having legislators to voice their opinions on and to vote on,
Yes.
it says to us that we've got to really do a real conscious check.
Yes, we do.
And we are reactive rather than being proactive. And this is the time now that you start checking yourself in every area of your life, so that as we move forward, guess what? Nobody has to wake you, nobody has to push you, nobody has to tug you. You're already ready for the movement that is about to happen. So listen, I tell you, I'm glad to have you. You've been doing an amazing job, and certainly we got to get your own theme music, because I don't know whether we're gonna get a conscious coming alive, but we got to get that. And listen, go ahead on, tag, share. I'm here with the Conscious Check chick, none other than Christy Henry. You can hear her twice a month on Hallelujah 95.3, the Greg James Community Show. We're going to talk about what's going on in the city. Hey, listen, it's a lot going on, whether it's downtown, crosstown, overtown, it's going on. And then we're going to bring you a plethora of events that's taking place in the city, so that you can become involved and engaged. Got one of our newest county commissioners that's going to be calling in, talking to us about his new journey. And then we definitely going to share with you what you feel like is important right here on the Greg James Community Show. And I'm joined by none other than the Conscious Chick herself, Christy Henry. Keep it locked right here, 95.3 FM. We're going to be right back, and we're going to start talking about some of the things that's going on.
Some of the things.
95.3
Okay.
So I'm let me share. Is this live? Hey y'all.
Yeah, we live.
I see y'all 10. Y'all strong too. Listen, can y'all see my afro today? All right, I know y'all can see this afro. Give me one more. That girl is on fire. Thank you, Mister. Thank you, Mama G. Hey, Angela. Hey, Marcus. Marcus, we still gotta catch that lunch, man. I'm still watching. I'm still following. All right, let's go ahead and catch that lunch real quick. Listen, if y'all have an event that is going on in the community, if y'all have anything, hey, there go Wes. Congratulations on your new podcast, Wes Hayes.
Hey,
congratulations.
Wes, absolutely, man.
All right, we need to have Wes on the show.
We gotta have Wes
in the
on
crib on
yeah.
the show. Hey, Lisa, what time for Safe Haven for Children?
Okay.
All
great.
right, welcome. Listen, go ahead and post your events. If you have anything coming up, hey Miss Carolyn, if you have anything coming up, an event coming up that you want us to share in this next hour conversation, please make sure you do that. You can also call in. I know, or you can post in the chat here, but we'd rather have you to call in, and that number is 850-671-1450. We listening to y'all today, and thank y'all 16 folks that's tuned in. All right.
Let's get the numbers up. Go ahead on the tag and share.
All right.
Let's get it up. 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 All right. Hey, what's up, Jonathan? Calvary Boys got something going on. Let's get the numbers up. Let's go ahead on the tag and share. We're going to be talking about what's going on right here in the city of Tallahassee.
Yes.
And we are back, and certainly we are excited about some of the things that's going on in the city. As you know, just newsworthy information. There is so much happening in and around our city. And one of the things that I want all of our listeners to do is I want you to really become engaged in our local politics, become engaged in our local concerns, whether it's the school board, whether it's the Tallahassee Police Department, whether it's our local city or county government. It's time for you to really become engaged. It's time for you to really get off of the sidelines and become a voice that join other voices in the fight to be heard. And why is that so important, Christine?
Well, two things. The first thing is that, for all of y'all that are listening and are following the state legislature in regards to what's happening with HB 1, House Bill 1, it had a companion bill in the Senate that didn't make it. I think House Bill 1 was probably the better version, but that bill, which is sponsored by our newly elected Senator Corey Simon, deals with the privatization of opportunity as it relates to public education and private vouchers. Lots of stuff in that bill that, based on whatever side you own, is pretty explosive, right? I think I had the opportunity to sit down with some of my school advisory council members at Hartsfield Elementary School, and was able to hear just how explosive this. I mean, it's a countercultural shift.
You're absolutely
right. And I think that, we have to understand that public policy dictates outcomes. And even if we're trying to make things happen over here, we can't neglect
what's going
to happen over here, right? So I think the conversation needs to be brought to the middle, because obviously our political systems are set up where this is the order of the day.
Absolutely.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the thing about that is so important that we realize that there are some things that we are not going to be able to stop. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen because the numbers dictate the outcome, and numbers always dictate outcome. And so when you understand that, then you are now becoming involved and you're becoming engaged to make sure that your voice helps those who are trying to give a different outcome. So
right. And I think a lot of these conversations are above the heads of a lot of people, right? Until it's at your front door.
Right. Absolutely.
And so we need to be tuning into the hard stuff. We need to be having the hard conversations and tuning into the hard things and dealing with these issues. And that's where your conversation about why public leadership, why it matters. The people in office are the ones advocating for the change you believe in. And if you got to trust them to be able to do that.
And then not only that, I mean, certainly I want to, give hats off to this guy, Greg James, who,
this guy.
Yeah, I want to give hats off to this guy, man. This guy, his life road, his life journey has been a one that has really caused him to be very resilient and brave in a lot of his decision making. And so to be able to run for office, come from a place where you did not have a voice to vote, then now you're running for office, you get in a chance to really see what happens behind the scene when it comes to the policies and the politics, and yet and still continue to raise awareness as you go. It says that this is an hour that we're in, Christy, where we've got to really engage our community. Stop thinking that get factual information, and let the factual information force you to be a voice to be reckoned with. A lot of times we're operating on fiction, and fiction has a way of causing us to fickle. Well, listen, we're going to pause right there because we've got Felicia Stanley and Nikki Collins on the line at the same time. Same time. Hey, ladies. Hey, are y'all there? Wonderful. So delighted to have not one of y'all, but both of y'all.
Both with an F.
Okay, well, listen, we are excited, Christique and I, we're excited about what's going on. We just decided to name this show What's Going On and talk about some of the things that are going on. And Christy, how would you describe these two females?
I would say that they are in pursuit of what's praiseworthy.
I like that word.
And I think that that's the generation that's coming. I think that folks are just over ego-driven communication. I think that folks want to find what's praiseworthy, and that's biblical. Whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are of a good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any peace in it, think on these things. And when we're in an era now where people are needing mental health, this and that and the other, we need to govern and have dominion over our thoughts, and our leaders in conversation are critical in doing that. So ladies, I know that Nikki has had you on her podcast, and it's a very powerful audience that she has access to, in addition to all the things that she I hope that she describes today. And congratulations to Felicia for launching your podcast, as well as much conversation we can get out on the airwaves that is positive and praiseworthy. That's how we counteract the evil and the negative. So I want to give them the opportunity to share what those things are.
Absolutely. Well, let's start with, because both of them have two amazing events that's happening.
Yep.
But let's start with you, Felicia. Let's first of all talk about just a little about what's happening this weekend, and we're going to dive back into that. And then after she finishes, Nikki, talk about what's happening this weekend so that our audience can know what's happening the following weekend, so our audience can know. Mark your calendar, because these are events you don't want to miss.
Okay. First and foremost, thank you both for creating a platform for truth, transparency, knowledge. I commend you. We need more of it. I'm all for it, and it's one of the many reasons why I choose to have the Weekend Network, which is a platform for females to be seen, heard, educated, protected, and celebrated. We need more of it. We're not in enough safe spaces where we can be transparent and don't feel like we're being judged, and hope to have that open, honest, necessary, but tough dialogue that needs to be had with us and assist us into our mental, physical, and spiritual health. So thank you for that. I commend you once again for that. But this weekend, April 22nd and 23rd, is the annual Queens Drinks Women's Conference. It's a 2-day event. Day 1 will take place at GCC Student Union Grand Ballroom from 11 to 2. We will have our keynote speakers speaking on mind, body, and balance. This is a topic I think is very necessary. A lot of mental health, as you mentioned, Christy, a lot of mental health issues are taking place. We can get in the mindset to get to our healing. Some of us don't even know that we need healing, and some of us want healing and don't know how to receive that healing. But all in all, we still play so many roles in the community, in our families, in our extended family. We play so many roles, and we need that balance. And this will be a conversation that talks about even finding a balance in imbalance. We don't really think about that. We find our balance throughout the imbalance, and we grow as well. So this 2020, Beyond Jones will be speaking as well, and see that already. They're talking about the mind, body, and balance topic. We're also honoring 12 phenomenal women of influence from the community that I handpicked, and I released the digital calendar last month with 12 phenomenal women honor Women's History Month. So they'll be honored again and with a plaque and a physical copy of the calendar.
Wow.
At this weekend's conference. And day 2 will be a VIP private brunch. And Raw Combos, my podcast, Raw Combos will be rolling both days, but definitely on Sunday where we're having that transparent conversation, talking about trauma, relationships, entrepreneurship, down to our kids that deal with mental illness. Just once again, how to balance the safe space that I chose to create for everyone to have that conversation. So it's a 2-day event. You can purchase 1-day tickets for each day, or you can purchase 2-day tickets. We'll have vendors on both days. The next day will take place at on North Road Street. So the setup will be there, a good run, laugh, vibe, then, connect, stop with the vendors. So there's a again that takes place being created the entire weekend where we have these conversations and empower each other as we need. I tell everyone, you don't have enough. You can never have enough. Create something. If you have a vision for it, I don't care if it's 10 years ago, do what you need to do. I've been talking about a podcast since 2017. I looked at some emails and I'm like, I've really been on it. I put it in the atmosphere and, I asked God for it, but I still needed that preparation.
Wow.
So today and now is I'm here.
Wow.
And I'm ready to bring that out to everyone. I know I'm a very private person, and a lot of people don't know much about me outside of what I post on social media or the events that I do. So this will actually be a time with Rock Combos with Felicia where I'm offering more of myself because I feel like I'm ready. And I think that's the way I'm helping others heal, because there's no look to a broken person, there's no look to a there's no look to a person. There's not even a look to success, when it comes to it. So I'm excited to be a part of this, to be able to use my platform to help others heal, grow, whether it's mentally, physically, or spiritually. But a lot of self-development will be touched on this weekend.
Wow. Well, listen, I mean, you have a power packed 2 days, and I think Christique and Nikki, you can really attest to this. I think that when it comes to us understanding the 3 parts that need to be healed, man consists of those 3 parts, and you're not whole if all 3 of the areas that you just mentioned are operating in a place where God is really giving you the kind of wholeness that you need. Above all things, I wish that you would prosper and be in good health. Above all things, prosperity is important. Your health is important, and the renewing of your mind is important. So that's happening this coming weekend. That's Saturday and Sunday. So you want to make plans to be there. And we're going to come back to you, Felicia, because I think now, Pastor Nikki, you got something amazing that's happening the following weekend.
Yes. Pastor James and Christy, thank y'all so much for having us on here. I'm so excited about what's happening this entire month. Actually, it spilled over from last month. So, it spilled over from last month. So I'm telling Christy, like she opened up a can of worms with these ladies. And there has been so much collaboration.
Wow.
Coming together, celebrate each other. There's a spark right now. And I really get outside of my little box, my comfort zone, even though I'm doing things and I've been doing it for years. But there's another level to this, and I believe that things have shifted. Even in the spirit, things have shifted. And Pastor James, I just want to say I will be at Felicia's on Saturday. I got my ticket.
What you say?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And then I'm going to be at yours the following night because I'm an honoree. So thank you for that. Yes. And that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Yes. Look, next weekend, Team's Good, the Win Experience. That's what it's all about. Men meaning women in the now. It's time for us to bridge the gap between the young women, the older women, and our youth. And so it's about women in the now supporting each other, pouring into each other. My whole theme this year is returning back to Christ, back to that place.
Yes.
Not just the church, but I'm talking about that relationship that we have with Christ. And so in order for us to get to that place, we got to look on the inside of us. And we got to make sure that we know how to connect with others.
Wow.
It's all about connecting with others. So the 27th through the 30th is going to be, we have a Team's Good Win Experience. We're celebrating women in the now. The 27th, we have our prayer experience, our prayer explosion that Thursday night. And then that Saturday, we have our gala, our Win Gala. So we're honoring women in ministry, women in the community, and women of worship. And so that's why Christique is one of our honorees, Alicia is one of our honorees. We are, we've watched, we've studied, and we know what these women are doing. We didn't just say eeny, meeny, miny, mo. There's a lot of women in Tallahassee who are doing great things, but you can't do it all in one setting. But I'm telling you, this year is a start, and it was a stretch.
Yes.
And we're honoring these women. We're letting them know that we see you. A lot of women are unseen.
Come on now.
They're just wives, they're just mothers, or I'm just, some women they can't even receive a compliment. And I'm like, wow. How broken you be in ministry when you can't even receive a compliment? They don't even receive the fact that God has placed purpose on the inside of them. You're more than just a wife. You're more than just a mother. You're more than just whoever you are good food, good fellowship, honoring each other. It's gonna be amazing, y'all. I'm very, very excited about it.
Listen, I bought a ticket and I gave my ticket to somebody else because I was like, you got to come on here. I did, because Pastor Nikki told me I ain't got to buy no ticket. So I gave the ticket I bought to somebody else. It was like, look, you come on. And I got about 2 other people that I told them, hey, y'all got to come on here. Because I think that what's happening, everywhere I'm going, I'm 100% ablaze with this, right? Because I think as women, first of all, in Leon County, there's more women than there are men.
Absolutely.
Right? So when you talk about the population, the power in numbers, women have the numbers, right? But the problem is that women have been on so many different levels of capability, and you have this spirit of intimidation that keeps women from helping other women. And so when you say there's a shift, that's where the shift is happening. And women are sensing the women that have been coming out of that, right? Or who have been active as deliverances from that. And I'm at these things and the women are reaching up and they're like, oh, can you be my mentor? Can you be my this? And I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, oh, shoot, I ain't got the capacity to do all this. So it's going to take everybody, right? And we don't understand that the space is infinite. So I look forward to celebrating both of these events. And I love, Pastor Nikki, what you said about reuniting back to Christ, because that's the found. We don't know how to treat each other outside of that prescription. We don't know how to love each other outside of the example that Christ gives us. We don't know how to not use one another outside of what he has done for our souls and reflecting on that. So to go back to the gospel and to say, what does God have need of you to do? It may not be a big grand stage. It may just you going back to that old fashioned loving your neighbor as yourself. And what does that look like, right, in reality? And so calling us back to Christ is where we have to start. Because that's where we live and we move and we have our being. So I'm ready. I'm ready to just kind of be there with the sisters and watch and eat my nice, my I don't know what kind of menu we're gonna have, our nice fish or a big chicken tender, whatever we gonna eat. Whatever. It's gonna be good. Shout out to the caterer in advance. We bless God for the caterers of both of these events in advance. Be blessed and be innovative. All right. Let's take the dates of both events so that the audience knows exactly what's happening and they can go ahead and tune into your websites and buy their tickets while they yet still may be available.
Yes, the Queens with Dreams Women's Conference 2-day event. Day 1 is the conference on mind, body, and balance. Day 2 is the private VIP run. We connect with each other as a tribe, whether we cry, laugh, or whatever it is. We're laying it all on the table. We're choosing to be vulnerable. A face-to-face will be created for that. You can purchase tickets on eventbrite.com for both days or an individual day. Dinners, food, like just a great time. And thank you guys for acknowledging that us as women, the time is now for us to do this. A lot of us have been sitting on business and being afraid, worried about if someone's going to say, I did it first and all these things. The time is now.
Yes.
Say, fearless, let's be bold, let's think big, let's do it big. We're not doing anything small. So I'm excited about all that we all have going on.
And listen, Pastor Nikki, give us the details.
Yes, well, look, she's good. When I say good, I'm talking about good. And when I say she, I'm talking about you. Whoever's listening to this,
Yes.
you are good, you are effective, you are honorable. Everything that God gave you since it was already, it was good. You looked at it and said it was good. So who told you you were bad? Your situation does not dictate who you are in
Yes.
Christ. So our conference is next Thursday, which is April 22nd through the 30th on Sunday. You can go to my website, NikkiCollins.org, NikkiCollins.org. You can go there, get your ticket. Your ticket will be for the gala, which is Saturday night at GCC Grand Ballroom. It starts at 5 o'clock. You don't want to miss that. That is where we're honoring 35 women throughout this community who are, like I said, their wives, their mothers, their pastors, their community leaders, their women of worship.
Yes.
So, look, if you still want to come, we still have a few tickets available. You can go to my website, purchase those tickets. The other services on the 27th and the 30th, they are open to the public. Men are welcome throughout this entire event. Yes, the women, we are putting it on. We are taking the lead on it.
Mm-hmm.
But you are welcome to come. The men are welcome to come in. So I invite all to come.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome. And I see people posting details on our post here. Please post and share. I see folks have put the website on there. Wes Hayes, yes, I think they have the information here, and you can follow them on social media as well. Yep, she can network. Yep, don't put yes. YEP. All right, she can. And then of course, www.nickycollins.org. Okay, where you can see all things Pastor Nicky Collins in ministry. So we thank you, ladies, for being here this afternoon and look forward to fellowshipping with you all in the days to come.
All right.
Thank you all so much.
Yes.
All right. Well, God bless you. Hey, listen, one of the things that I was just thinking about is that as I was listening to the young ladies talk, as I listened to both of them, one of the things that I think is missing in the male community is that kind of camaraderie. And I think this is an hour where males are really having to step up
Yes,
to
sir.
regain the position that God has called us in. And one of the things that we've got to be able to do is that we got to be able to celebrate and honor those who gifts are different from each other. You may not be gifted in an area, but let's empower you
Yes.
in the area that you are because it's helping the cause.
Mhm.
There's no need for us to walk around with a spirit of jealousy and yet cannot accomplish what needs to be accomplished. Listen, it's What's Going On Wednesday. I'm here with the conscious chick, Christy Henry. We got another caller on the air. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air.
Good afternoon. This is Nicole Everett, Conversation with Nicole. How are you?
Hey,
Hey.
Nicole. Listen, y'all, Nicole got stuff for days, y'all. Nicole, you have been very intentional about building a calendar of stuff and events and conversations. Before you get into the list, talk a little bit about the pursuit. What's the goal here? And then give us some insight into the work that you're doing with the Village Square.
So I believe that everything starts with a conversation. Yeah, everything starts with a conversation. So until you talk to someone about who they are, what's important to them,
Mm-hmm.
people. Well, just say you had a conversation, you don't know. You're assuming a lot of things about folks, but until you share that conversation, you really don't know.
Mm.
So for me, it's all about engaging with folks. I think oftentimes we focus more on the differences as opposed to the likeness.
Wow.
And when we have the conversation, we find out that we have a lot more
Common.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And so has that?
I was just gonna say that's been big for me from 2016 when we started this.
Right.
But I have moved more into the mental health and wellness space since October 21. And so now I'm on twice a week,
Yes.
every week, talking about mental health and wellness, particularly in Black and Brown communities.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Let me ask you this, Nicole, because I think you said something that is so important, and it's important for all of our listeners to know. Until you have the conversation, you will only then discover that we have more in common than we have that's different from each other. When you say that, and now that you're on twice a week, and mental health is now a very prevalent conversation, not only is it prevalent, but it's very problematic in our communities to have that conversation. What has now been the driving force behind that?
Well, again, for me, it all starts with mindset. Like our whole being starts with mindset and how we think. Because there's something called the cognitive thoughts, control your feelings,
Mhm.
your feelings or emotions will control your actions or behavior. And so if you can change your thoughts about a thing, then you're gonna change your feelings about it and your behaviors about it.
That's
Mm.
right. That's right.
So
And
if you can just shift that thinking, boy, give you a powerful change.
listen, that's biblical because the scriptures say, "As a man thinketh, so is he."
Absolutely.
And so, we're not translating. There's nothing new under the sun, but there's disciplines that break it down, in a way where people can kind of grasp it. Because are we winning? Are we? There's a prevalency of information about mental health resources, wellness conversations, but are we winning statistically in the pursuit of adherence to resources, particularly in Black and Brown communities?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, in my personal opinion, it's a mixed bag. On one hand, yes, I think that some of the younger folks, especially, are embracing counseling and therapy a lot more readily than our more seasoned people.
Mm-hmm.
Because, they say it's hard to teach old dogs and tricks, right? And so, some of the conversations amongst our more seasoned folks are, I ain't crazy, what happens in my house stays in my house.
Wow.
I got Jesus, those type of things. But God created counselors and therapists too.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
He did. He did.
And you say, go ahead.
It doesn't have to be either or, it can be both and.
Well,
Go ahead.
no. I mean, when you say, it's kind of mixed bag of are we winning as a people when we see what we see, when we see the crime rate, when we see the school expulsion rate, when we see the number of things that are happening within our communities, and yet,
The Baker Act rate.
yeah, look at that. Yeah.
The children are being Baker acted like never before.
Yeah. So
That's unheard of.
And this is just my humble opinion, and certainly we're going to have to get you on. And I think, Christique, you all are working on something that's going to be amazing for our community real soon. But if we would just be honest, I mean, with churches on every corner, with 2 and 3 churches on the same street, I would have to feel that we are behind. I mean, the game is not over, but the scores don't look good for us.
Yeah. And I would also add that a lot of what we would consider like coping skills are missing.
Absolutely.
Like, folks are not handling crisis or, traumas well.
No.
Wow.
So I think as a community, there's some things that we've lost with the ability to have access to everything. We've lost some things.
Wow.
So we got to somehow, gain that back. But I'll tell y'all, my theme for this year is know thyself.
Oh my God.
Because it starts with you.
Wow.
Yeah, we talking about relating to other folks, but you got to know you first.
Wow. I mean, I tell you, Nicole, conversation with Nicole, you have, I mean, one thing I like about atmospheres is that, when they shift, you got to know that they have shifted. And you have really caused a shift to the atmosphere, but it's also a shift to the attitudes and the anxiety that people face, because now you're saying that is so amazing. Your theme for your life for this year is know yourself. And I just told myself the other day, I said, Greg, you know what? You got to make yourself a priority. And so we have made so many other people priorities. We have tried to know so many other people, But now this is a time, because if you know yourself, then you're going to know what you're not going to tolerate. And you don't care who do not appreciate your level of non-tolerance of their ignorance. And you're not going to embrace what you don't feel like is empowering.
I think we need a community mental health day for community workers. I think anybody doing community work
this is great.
Need to have a community day and come and just sit on somebody's couch and get their feet rubbed while they just talk. Because listen, a lot of this stuff is hurt. It's servant leadership hurt. It's people hurt. It's expectations, adequate expectations not being met.
Absolutely.
It's promises being broken over and over again and having to acclimate yourself to those lacking promises, right? And hope deferred makes a what? Heart sick.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I think there's nothing new under the sun, but I really would love it if somebody would just have a mental health clinic day for community service where a pastor could just come put his.
But he's not going to do that.
I'm just saying.
And the reason he's not going to do that because he wants to be seen as Superman.
I know he ain't.
And you know you can't let people you can't let people see you as the person who is saying I need to release some anger and I've got some frustrations.
But you know what I see? You know what I see, Greg?
Yeah.
I see Superman with a cape on, but that cape don't help him fly.
Mm-hmm.
That cape is covering stab wounds in his back.
What you say? Wow.
So if you got a cape on and you bleeding,
Even he had a weakness with the
kryptonite. But that ain't no cape that you using to fly. You covering wounds. And so anyway, come on.
But I mean, and you know what? We go. This is amazing, and we got a few minutes left. But I got to say this because you all just said something. Now, even Superman had a weakness, which was kryptonite. But we don't look at the weakness.
Mm-mm.
We don't look at the weakness. And wow. Yeah. I told you shifted the whole atmosphere. So listen, with the 120 seconds that we got left, tell us about the major event that is happening.
Yes.
Presentations that are 20 seconds, 20 slides that are advanced automatically every 20 seconds at the moon. You'll get a quick glimpse of some of these organizations, which include the Animal Therapy, Lemoyne Arts, Blueprint, Independence Landing, Southside Redevelopment Advisory Council, Thirds Around Tallahassee, Downtown Tally. And so this will take place again at the moon on May 2nd from 6 to 8. Doors will open at 5:30. There'll be a cash bar including available to purchase. But this is an event that will give folks an opportunity to see what Tallahassee has to offer.
Yes.
Its sense of place, how vibrant and engaged and growing and economically successful we are, and what makes Tallahassee so Tallahassee. So I'm excited about it. Ms. Christy Henry will be there, of course, representing the Southside Redevelopment Agency, and so it's gonna be great. So we invite everyone to come out. You can go to the Village Square website to get more information, to register, and hopefully we'll see you there.
All right.
Now you need to talk about this so grab your pearls or your earrings or your headphones, Pastor. And listen, God, go ahead and set it up because I can't do it. Okay.
So, all right. So our regular season comes out on Friday. My next guest will be the executive director of the Village Square, which is Vanessa Round. So that'll be on Friday at 7 a.m. on Conversation with Nicole YouTube and on Greater Works Network on Roku. But since we talk about knowing ourselves, y'all was talking about women and how important we are and all of that.
Yep.
So Sunday, April 23rd, is National Vagina Appreciation Day.
Okay.
And she said that. That's what she said.
Mm-hmm.
I said it. I said what I said.
Okay.
And so, conversations with the phone is having a
Okay.
which is a polite way of saying vagina.
Mm-hmm.
And so this will be on again Sunday the 23rd at 2 p.m. and it will be at Frankfurt, located on South Monroe Street.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it is really to celebrate self-care,
Yes.
self-love, and feminine health and wellness. And so I have a yoga instructor, I have a yoni, her topic will be what you discharge, and I have a certified sexologist who is going to tell us about the parts of our lady parts and how they work. With each ticket, ladies can receive a 15-minute chair massage or expression and music and affirmations, and it's just going to be a great time. So you can get more information on Eventbrite or on Conversations with Nicole, Instagram or Facebook.
Wow. Well, listen, Nicole, I certainly want to thank you so much because I think we're in an hour where we got to be able to have conversations just like that. And we got to talk about what you're saying. And Sunday is described as National Vagina Sunday. And we got to talk about the importance of the powwow. And I had an opportunity to meet some time ago with Miss Talithia Edwards, who gave me a real understanding of how important it is to understand the value of that part of your body being clean, groomed, and all of that. So I thank you so much. And Conversation with Nicole, she has the courage to call you out on major conversation. Hey, don't go nowhere. Coming right up right now. Thank you so much, Nicole, for joining us and giving us that. Yes, and coming up right now, we got to wrap up, but coming up right now is none other than our newest county commissioner, Commissioner Christian Caban. How are you, sir? Man, I'm doing absolutely amazing. Joining me is the conscious chick, Miss Christique Henry.
Hey, Commissioner Caban. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, listen, with the few minutes that we have left, man, we talking about what's going on. We definitely want to bring you on because, you know, everywhere I look now, I see you. I mean, you are really upholding your commitment, not just to the district, but to the community as a whole. How has it been, man, since you have been elected? Probably one of the youngest that's on the dais right now.
I really appreciate that. You know, we in the campaign, our message over and over again that we push is that we were committed to the result. And you know, we really have been trying to live by that. You know, the last 5 or 6 months since we've been in office. And you know, we have gotten so much done, so much in the pipeline coming up. I mean, we have projects slated already for spring 2024, and you know, we're really just continuing to be an advocate and being a voice for our community. You know, we want to make sure our tax dollars are being spent in District 2. You know, I know my neighbors and my folks in District 2, they're ready to be spent there.
There's a lot of geographic and demographic diversity in District 2. It's also inclusive of our urban and rural spaces. Talk about how your service up to this point, your discovery and your appropriation of service has been impacted by that diversity.
Yeah, most definitely. Part of what we wanted to make sure is that all parts of our district are equally represented. You know, the last 30 years of commissioners from our district, they all were from the Fort Brady community. And, you know, Fort Brady is a great part of our community. It's my job to make sure that everyone is equally represented. You know, just today, I was talking to a reporter about what I thought democracy meant. And I think democracy means being a voice for everybody in your community. And that's what we've been trying to push. So right now we brought back Stark Street as an agenda item on Blueprint, which was voted in. So Stark Street right now is looking at a redesign to expedite that process. When it was slated to be pushed back 15 years, we haven't moved up. We haven't moved up now. We're talking about it, things moved on it now. Highway 90, West Tennessee Street. I have FDOT. They've agreed to resurface they're doing a traffic study right now on Highway 20. I can't really announce it yet, but as a little teaser, we have FDOT will be investing money into Highway 20 coming up.
Amen.
And then lastly, down in Woodville, my people in Woodville, I told them that we were going to get sidewalks, and FDOT is in the process of getting sidewalks put in. So we really are trying to make sure our district is equally represented.
Wow. Hey, you know what, Commissioner? Listen, man, we're out of time, but we're never out of word. But I want to say thank you so much for what you're doing. Christique, I know you want to say something before we have to exit the air. But man, as you said, you are driven to results. And I want to thank you so much. We got to bring you back on so we can do an exclusive. But I wanted to touch bases with you just to give our listeners an opportunity to know that, man, you are out there. I mean, I see you in so many churches till I don't know whether you AME, you Church of God in Christ. Hey, and the thing about it is, every church I see you in, you're doing the same little shout. I see you in churches that don't make no noise, you shout. So I think. Hey, man, listen, man, we appreciate you. And, man, I thank God for what you're doing. And I thank God for the commitment that you have to serve our community. So thank you so much. That's Commissioner Christian Caban. Christique, let's wrap it up. We got to get out of here.
Yes, we do. Well, I think today's show can be definitely described as spirit of praiseworthiness. Want to leave everybody with that scripture that says, finally, brethren and sistren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are good report. If there be any virtue, and if there be any peace, praise, think on these things.
And with that being said, you're challenged to think. This has been the Greg James Community Show. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
And remember, I'll see you Sunday morning, Life Church International. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Until then, you be blessed.
All right, y'all. Listen.
All
There's
right.
a lot of sharing happening on here. I see y'all sharing each other information. That's awesome. Y'all need to make some of these comments on the Facebook page too. All right. We see y'all on the yard. These don't translate to the Facebook page on 95, do they?
Yeah, no. They each one of them have a different algorithm, so they don't transfer.
Okay.
But it's been great.
It's been great. Thank y'all for tuning in. See y'all next week. We're gonna be talking what?
You're talking next week. You're talking. Oh my God, what are you talking next week?
Next week we have on the show folks who are going to be talking about. Nah, that's not the housing show next week.
I don't know.
No,
but
we'll
just tune
know
in.
in a minute. All right.